So if Trae Young is going to be playing on this Grizzlies player's side right here, as he is, then DeJounte Murray's got to drop, get his back to the baseline, and be in the gaps. Because when Desmond Bane comes this way, you got to be able to stunt, get his dribble, pick up, help out Trae Young, because he clearly needs it with the way he's defending, and recover. Like what? Of course, I don't know what... Come on, if you're John Collins, you got to sprint back and transition. Like, what is John Collins doing? That is really not great. There is no way you can defend Ja Morant while you're also trying to feel out a screen. If you get screened, you get screened, and your ball screen defense executes. What DeAndre Hunter can't be doing is trying to feel out a screen, because look, now Ja Morant's going the other way, and you're off balance, and being off balance against Ja Morant does not work. So if you're AJ Griffin here, stop. You're not getting to the ball. And there's a Hawks player right here that clearly will take the ball. You need to be sprinting this way. This is where you have to go. See, right now AJ Griffin's just getting to the middle of nowhere. And that's a problem. So now we have two people guarding the ball. Okay, there is so many issues. It's hard to even count. Stop. So Trae Young gets beat. Bogdanovich steps up to take his man. If you're Trae Young, you're not guarding the ball anymore. Get out over here. Okay, 2, what is going on over here? Okay? Like, it looks like this player's going to switch. Well, you got to say something so this player knows to take Santi Aldama. So we have a terrible switch here, as you can see, because 2 Hawks players go here, nobody takes Aldama. And Trae Young, by the way, is still trying to guard the ball, which is not going to happen, and so we're in trouble. Again, if you're Clint Capella here, stop. You're not in a defensive stance coming in to drop coverage off this ball screen. Like, you've got to be in a defensive stance so that you can slide your feet over here when this pass gets made. See, look at Clint Capella right here. Not in a defense. He's just backpedaling. You have no opportunity now to be able to slide over here when this pass is made. You're DeJounte Murray here in drop coverage. Stop. You've got to avoid Ja Morant putting you on his back. Like, there's space here. You need to get through this space here, okay? Because when you don't do that, now look at this. Ja Morant is making it impossible now for you to ever guard the ball. So this is just a 2-on-1 that's not going to happen. It's terrible defense from Trae Young. You cannot be gambling like this, trying to get over a screen. Look at this. There's one gamble. There's another. There's one more. You're never going to be able to guard the ball now. It's, again, really bad transition defense. So we have a tap back right here. If you're Clint Capella, you have to be sprinting now. You've got to stay with this Grizzlies player. Like, Clint Capella doesn't even try. All right, that's number 1. 2, DeJounte Murray is already backpedaling. He can't do that. You have to sprint back. At some point, you have to get your feet set and be in a defensive stance so you can guard the ball. So we're 0 for 2. Okay, so in transition defense, you throw half-court matchups out the window. You just get to the nearest body and figure out the rest later. So right now, Trae Young's got to come here. That's the nearest body. DeAndre Hunter stays here. Like, this is just a real problem that nobody takes Xavier Tillman. This is terrible defense from Trae Young. This is a down screen. First of all, you have to be underneath your man on this down screen. So if you were underneath your man, it'd be going this way, and you chase over the top this way. Whatever. You're going up the gut here. This is up the gut. So look at this. You have no chance of guarding the ball. That draws a second defender. That leaves Dylan Brooks wide open. If you're trying to go under a screen with Ja Morant, you've got to immediately be going under. Like, look at this. This is taking you. Look at DeAndre Hunter. Like, why? You haven't even started moving going under as Ja Morant is already starting to come off this screen. So look at this. Of course, Ja Morant's now on the other side way ahead of you. When you are guarding Ja Morant in the open floor, you have got to be on your toes. Like, you have got to be getting over here in a defensive stance with your feet set. This is not the effort level that's going to get it done. So your feet are never set. Ja Morant is going to destroy you every time. Again, if you're Trae Young, get in a defensive stance with your feet set. Look at this. Why are you're going uphill right now as Desmond Bane is coming downhill. Not lean towards a screen early. Look at DeAndre Hunter here. Look at him leaning towards that screen. Well, you're going to get beat the other way now. Okay, if you're Bogdanovich here and you want to go under a screen, you have got to go fully under. You cannot make contact with the screener. See, look at this. You just made contact with the screener as you're trying to go under. Tyus Jones is on the other side, way ahead of you. What is Onyeka Okongwu doing here? This is a ball screen. So, like, you have to guard this. Are you in drop coverage? Are you switching? Are you hedging? You can't do nothing. He did nothing. Okay, again, if you're Sadiq Bey and you want to be in drop coverage here, you've already lost. You've got to be over here, and you've got to be in a defensive stance with your feet set, because you've got to be able to then come back to this pass here. You'll have help in the gaps right here. This player should be here too. But look at you, like if you're you have no chance of getting over to Tillman now on this pass. DeJounte Murray is committing to this switch too early. You've got to still guard the ball until you get screened. Because then when this player comes off the screen, then this player will be able to switch. Look at DeJounte Murray. He just totally stops here. So now this player's got to switch. This player hasn't even come off of a screen yet. So now, of course, he's not going to be able to guard. I mean, can never be backpedaling in transition. You have to sprint back because you got to get your feet set and be in a defensive stance. See, look at this. You're backpedaling, so now you're not in a defensive stance. Your feet are taking you inward, and now you have no chance of getting outward. This is really bad transition defense by Trae Young. You've got to stop the ball first, okay? This player here is so far beyond half court that Bogdanovic will have plenty of time to get over here, but you have to take the ball. I mean, you not taking the ball here is absurd. Again, if you're Clint Capella, I mean, this is Ja Morant coming off this ball screen. You have got to get in a defensive stance with your feet set. You've got to keep the ball in front of you. Like, look at Clint Capella here. You're never keeping the ball in front of you defending like this. It's a bad switch, okay? Clint Capella right now needs to be in a defensive stance, level to the screener, ready to guard, okay? Look at this. Not the case at all. Like, you should right now be ready to guard the ball right now. Look at your feet. You have no chance of guarding the ball right now. So now you're just going to be out of position guarding Desmond Bane. And, well, yeah. I mean, you're just speechless. Trae Young is supposed to be guarding this player in transition. What is Trae Young doing? What is there to say?